first for people, most people who won't be familiar with me and my work, um, what one of the things I've done is create a six-string electric violin, which didn't exist before that, which was something I started doing in the 1980s, a long time ago, and um, which is an instrument that's almost like a hybrid between a violin and a guitar a little bit,
Yes.
you know? It's got 2 lower strings so that it has the range of a guitar, goes down as low as a guitar, and played through amplification and all that kind of thing. It's a solid body or a semi-solid instrument, so it really, can be used like a guitar, and the reason I did that was because I felt this, need for somebody to do with the acoustic violin what they had done with the acoustic guitar. Uh,
Mm.
to create an electric guitar is really a new instrument. I mean, it's
Yeah.
obviously related to an acoustic guitar. If you can play one, you can
Yeah.
play the other, but it's a very the possibilities of an electric guitar, especially as people started discovering what it could do, people like Jimi Hendrix and, Carlos
Yeah.
Santana and all that,
That's right.
figuring out all of the differences that an electric guitar could do that was different from folk guitar or classical guitar and great,
Yes.
classical guitar players, Andre Segovia and people like that. So it was a very different instrument designed to do different things. And what impelled the creation of that instrument was the fact that people wanted to play contemporary music that was different
Mm.
from the other music. They want to play rock and roll
Yes.
specifically,
Yeah.
and jazz when it first started coming out, electric guitar. So for me, that's exactly what inspired me to electrify a violin was that I wanted to play rock. I felt not only was it time for somebody to electrify a violin, but for people to play the violin in a more contemporary way.
Yes.
And this was something that was brought home to me when I was, in high school, and I was a classical music nerd. I was that kid who, with curly hair and
Yeah.
glasses and a violin case in my hand,
The
who
perfect image.
oh, I was the nerd, and I used to just get teased to death in school, and and I loved all of this classical music that I was so fortunate that my parents, exposed me to, and, all these violin concertos by Tchaikovsky and Sibelius and all these wonderful pieces, but my friends had no idea what a Sibelius was, they're like, "Who is
Uh-huh.
that?" I have no idea. "Can you play some Black Sabbath? Can you play Hendrix?"
Exactly.
Right? They wanted to hear the music they knew and that they loved and that they danced to and that they partied to and,
Yeah.
all of that kind of stuff. And I realized that the violinists of the past were not playing music that was hundreds of years old. They were playing
Mm.
very popular music.
That's right. That's right.
When Mozart was writing his pieces, they were the very popular style of the day. Same for Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, whatever, and, I thought
Yeah.
and it occurred to me one day, like, if Tchaikovsky were alive right now, would he write a violin concerto or would he write an electric guitar concerto?
So true.
Right? So that's kinda what did it. I wanted it just to be cooler than than I was. I wanted my friends to think I was cool, and I wanted my friends to appreciate what I was playing and not think it was old-fashioned music that was just
Yeah.
for my grandparents. And all of that, kind of over the years. At first, it started by, just wanting to be cooler, but then I realized that this is really important as a composer, somebody who's been writing music since I was really young, that this is what composers always do. They write music of their day and of their place,
That's right.
and that's their job. I like to think of composers as emotional journalists. You know, they write the story of how we feel about how we approach our world. That's what all artists do, not just musicians. All artists,
Absolutely.
filmmakers, writers, playwrights. Everybody who makes art is showing us the world the way, we see the world in our contemporary vision, which is different from the way it was 100 years ago. So I felt that it was my responsibility to take all that on, to take it seriously, to create instruments that were worth playing, and to commission composers to write pieces for this new instrument. Great
Absolutely.
composers like John Adams and Terry Riley and, Daniel Bernard Roumain, an amazing Haitian composer who just wrote a concerto for me that we're premiering in a couple of months. This has been a lifelong mission to um, have composers write for this new instrument in a contemporary voice that reflects the possibilities of our own culture.
I love it.